Well, hello there, gamerinos and gamerinas. Welcome to UnicornStorm. This is Rady, and today we're gonna go talking to strangers. Play the game, that is. Please don't bother strangers. Except for in this game. So what is it you actually do in this game? How do you bother random people you don't know? Well, you're a salesperson and you have to go from house to house and sell something to the nice people living there. And also the assholes. And the weird guys. It's mostly a talking simulator. A kind of choose your own adventure. With a bit of resource management and puzzle aspects. It's hard to really nail down. Let's call it a narrative puzzle game. Yeah, that should do it. So you find yourself in this lovely small town and you have a week to close as many deals as possible. For that, you select a house from your map to visit. At first you only have 3 houses available, but by playing through more and more workdays, you open up more houses, and on repeat playthroughs, you start with a larger selection that is somewhat randomized. Selecting a house instantly transports you to the next scene, where you need to work your way through rather strange dialogues to hopefully sell your product at the end. It's never specified what it is you're selling, but I guess that's beside the point. The star of the show are the weird situations you find yourself in. Some are just ever so slightly relatable, with rebellious adolescents not caring for your shit, down on their luck guys trying to make it through the day, the rich and famous parading their superiority over you, or extended families constantly bickering and arguing with each other. But then there are the more unconventional characters. Evil cultists trying to sacrifice you to their god, evil robots about to eradicate or enslave humanity, Death himself enjoying a bit of small talk about work, a spider collective eager to assimilate more and more beings, including you. And now I'm gonna stop spoiling all the hilarious shit. Some dialogue options lead to an early ending, one of 36 if the achievement screen is to be believed, some are more wholesome than others, and many of them just result in your demise. The true goal is, of course, to survive the week and reach your quota. Which isn't actually that easy, at least on early attempts. You see, you don't just move from house to house and sell stuff, or at least try to. You have to manage your available time in addition to a few resources. Some of your dialogue options affect your rage and depression meter, and it is not always clear when and why they do. It seems a bit arbitrary at times, and you can't always avoid an increase in rage or depression. Now, if your depression ever fills up to the maximum amount of 10, then you can't start another sales pitch. I guess the anxiety is just too great at that point. So you either need to use an item to lower it, perform one of the few interactions that aren't work-related, in hopes of lowering it, or end the day early by going back to your motel, crawling under your blanket and sleep the sadness away. Or at least some of it. And by that skipping all remaining sales opportunities for the current day. If at any point your rage gauge fills up completely, you immediately stop the conversation and quit your job in a fit of rage, prematurely ending the playthrough. You can manage those meters in a few ways. One is with the correct responses, and since conversations themselves aren't randomized, and the selection of houses at the start only has so many different combinations, after enough attempts it is possible to map out a path through the game to balance forced increases in those meters with opportunities to decrease them again. Though some of your responses might affect later conversations, even beyond your current playthrough, so be mindful of that. Then there are items that you can get from some interactions or just buy from your motel room with the money you earned from sales. But be careful, because it's actually not that easy to earn enough per day to cover your daily living expenses, and getting in the red increases your depression again. Sleeping also lowers both your rage and depression, at least it can. There's another bit of management in here. You can either sleep in, and by that relieve some stress, but only be able to visit 3 houses on that day, or you set the alarm and wake up early enough to visit an additional house. which you need after a few days to make enough sales for an increased bonus payment. But rising early actually increases both rage and depression a bit. You can spend some money to lower this increase a bit, but then you're just wasting the money you're out to make by getting up early. So yeah, as long as you haven't remembered all the different conversations and know where the trappings lie, you mostly scramble to make it to the next day and hope you don't fuck up anywhere, which is rather easy to do. You might think you're clever and visit a house with an easy sell and some easy rage and depression decreases early to give yourself an edge, but now the conversation is much harder, with more moments where you need to take a hit. One rich woman can't stand your presence in the morning and is too drunk in the evening to even get what you want from her, but agrees to anything in the afternoon just to get you to leave, since she's with her lover. A dangerously careless guy raises your depression with all the self-endangering shit he does, but visit him late enough and you'll only find his corpse, and get an easy sale with the police officer. So yeah, this game relies a lot on you memorizing the conversations, but it's fine, since all the scenes are rather short and even failing is a lot of fun. Not only with the hilarious endings, but also just to see how all these colorful characters react to your responses. Some dialogue choices also permanently grant you tips, displayed on the map when you select a house, just as a little reminder, which are sometimes more and sometimes less helpful. Also, dialogue options that lead to your untimely death get highlighted in red, so you don't accidentally step into the same trap twice. You can, of course, if you want to, just for shits and giggles. So yeah, a funny little puzzle game. Don't take it too seriously and don't try too hard to win. It's actually quite fun to deliberately choose the obvious wrong answers at times, just to see what happens. Sessions are rather short, so by just goofing around and experimenting, you unlock enough tips to eventually have an easy enough time to beat the game. It's best played in short bursts, and it only sets you back $5, so you can't really go wrong with this game. If you enjoy a more casual game with a rather weird approach to its writing and progression. But whatever you do, have a great day. This has been Rady, and I hope to see you again on the next game.